Okay, so this video is going to be on probability, but a bit different to what you guys would have seen before. So let me read out the first question. I've got 3 questions to go through with you guys. The probability that's a biased dice, so a dice that isn't fair, will land on a 5 is 0.3. Okay, we're going to stop the sentence there for a second. 0.3. The way I want you to think about it is how we dealt with percentages just before we broke up for Christmas holidays. 0.3 represents 30%. If I said to you, what's 30% as a decimal, you should say 0.3. So what it's really saying here is the probability that a biased dice will land on a 5 is 30%. Megan is going to roll the dice 400 times. Work out an estimate, because we don't know for sure if it will be exactly this answer, but it will be close enough, for the number of times the dice will land on a 5. So what it's saying there is probability of a dice landing on 5 is 30%. She's going to roll it 400 times. So you want to find what 30% is of 400. So 30% of 400. Now, there's a few ways you could do this. If it was on a non-calculator paper, you'd find what 10% was, times it by 3 to find what 30% was. If it was a calculator paper like this, I'm happy for you guys to use this as one. You would just go, what is that as a decimal? Well, you know what it is, because it's 0.30 times by 400, and that equals 120. And therefore your answer is, how many times did she land on a 5? 120 times. Okay? Right, this question here, I'm happy for you guys to try it first if you want to. If you do, please pause the video. If not, I'll go through it right now. Okay, each boy at school plays one of 4 sports. The table shows the probability that a student chosen at random plays rugby, hockey, cricket, or football. A student is chosen at random. Work out the probability that the student plays cricket. Okay, 0.4, 0.2, 0.1, what's that going to be? Right, what we haven't spoken about yet, which I'm using this video as an opportunity to do so, is that probabilities add up to 1. All probabilities will add up to a total of 1. Okay? So when we look at this, we say 0.4, 0.2, so far we're on 0.6, plus 0.1, which is 0.7. So this is 0.7. We know that all 4 of them together need to add up to 1. So 0.7 here, which means that this must be 0.3, because that's what's needed to add up to 1. So therefore the answer is 0.3, which we know to be 30%. And we know that to be 40%, and we know that to be 20%, and that to be 10%. So they told us now, there are 600 boys at the school. Okay? Work out the number of boys who play rugby. So rugby here is 0.4. And we know that represents 40%. So 40% of the boys play rugby. So we want to find what 40% is of, and then we look at the question, 600 boys. So of 600. Okay? Similar to the last example here, I could find what 10% was, then find what 40% is from there. But if it was a calculator paper, I would just turn that into a decimal 0.40 times by 600. I think it's 240, but I can just check on the calculator. Yep, 240. So the number of boys who play rugby, in this case, would be 240. Okay? Right, last example. Again, guys, if you need to pause it and try it yourself, please do now. Right, a game is played with a 5-sided spinner. Each section is a different colour. Red, blue, green, pink, black. The spinner is biased, so it means it's unfair, it's not even. The table shows some of the probability of the spinner landing on each colour. Now again, I love to look at this like a percentage rather than a decimal, okay? So 0.34, we look at it like 34%. 0.1 is 10%. 0.12 is 12%. The probability of green is equal to the probability of pink. That green and that pink, they are going to be the same probability. What's the probability the spinner lands on pink? So we look at that and we say, well, with probability, we know that probability add up to 1, a total of 1. So this plus this plus this plus this plus this need to equal 1. So first things first, let's work out what we've got so far. We've got 0.34 and 0.1 and 0.12. So I'm going to do 0.34 plus 0.1 plus 0.12. 0.34 plus 0.1 plus 0.12 equals 0.56. 0.56. Right. That represents what we have with that, that, and that. Now we know that all 5 of them add up to 1, and the 3 of them here add up to 0.56. So if I do 1 take away 0.56, it gets me 0.44. Now that 0.44 is what both of these are together. But the question says probability of them being equal, which means that because they're 0.44 together, if they're equal, you would divide it by 2, and it would be 0.22 and 0.22. And therefore, that's exactly what it would be for green and for pink. 22%, 22%. So probability of landing on pink is 0.22. Okay? Best of luck with the questions.